All right, folks. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, folks. All right, folks. We're back one other time. Sorry, I'm just kind of thinking about something. Kind of thinking about, what we were just talking about in the last couple of, just thinking about what we were just talking about in the other vlogs and videos that we've done, that we've done so far today here. So, the last thing for as far as the way I see it with the big changes for the upcoming big changes for the Rochester public transportation and stuff goes and stuff. As far as stuff like Eastview Mall and stuff goes, I think the only thing we can do between now and then is either get at least a couple more visits in before the end of the year in just a little more than another month and a half, or try and get at least a few more good visits in before the time that the reimagine and big changes to the Rochester public transportation ends up taking effect. Ends up taking effect and all going in and ends up all going in and ends up all going into place and ends up all being put in place and ends up all being in place. So again, as of beginning of the new year 2020, in just a little more than another month and a half, I think we're just going to have I think like another 6 months left of going about using the Rochester public transportation the way that we are right now. After that, I guess we'll need to get used to taking advantage of the new CMZ, depending on what we've studied about how it's all going to be. I mean, again, like I said, for the most part, it sounds promising for the most part, but you just don't know exactly for sure just yet how it's going to be until it all gets all up and running. Once the big changes with Rochester public transportation all take effect early next summer, end of June, end of next June 2020. So, in a way, it sounds kind of like the end is near for in the end is near in some parts of it. There is kind of probably, it sounds like, an end in sight for parts of it. Take a quick look outside. We did end up getting a little bit of snow flurry yesterday and again early this morning. When the sun came out earlier in the day, a lot of it melted away in the wide open areas where you get plenty of sunlight. In the areas where there's more shade, there still is some snow on the ground. But yeah. But anyway, so I guess we'll just try to enjoy the last little bit of time we have before the big changes come. I mean, again, the CMZ, which I guess is a way to try to continue being able to take public transportation, again, sounds promising for the most part as of now. It's probably up in the air for right now, at least. I'll continue to give you updates, especially as it all gets closer and stuff to next summer 2020. So I guess, I try to trust that public transportation shall not go away too much for people like us and people like myself as of then when the big changes to the Rochester public transportation all take effect early next summer end end of end of June, end of next June, 2020. You know, all right, that's all for now. Um, enjoy the rest of your evening, and talk to you later.